I thought I might find you here. I'm a TA in one of your classes. I have access to your schedule. It isn't exactly a governmental secret. Look, do you want to keep giving me the third degree, or do you want the coffee I brought for you? Your choice. Make it. Thought so. I imagine I'm one of the last people you want to see right now. I know I'm not exactly the warm and friendly type. I know I'm not reassuring necessarily. But Monroe's busy, and I don't know anyone else you've made friends with here yet to ask them. So you get me. I knew you'd be here because a lot of new students, especially new relucent students, end up squirreling themselves away here in some corner of the library or other before their first class. Every one of them has their own reasons for it, but it's usually last-minute nerves, thinking that if they cram enough they might not look so lost, or something. Which I get, but it's ultimately pointless. I'm not being judgmental, but it is. Even lucent kids are lost when they get here, especially for the intro classes. Add in that it's Maymester and everyone is practically on equal footing. People taking these courses in Maymester are one of two types. Either they're brand shiny spankin' new to the lucent world, or they flunked the class during their actual term. So sure, lucent students know about their history. They've got a vague idea of how their governmental system works, and they know the true basics of how to use their magic. But that doesn't matter for shit when you start really getting into academy-level courses. Even the beginner ones. I'm sorry, do I seem like the type to blow smoke up your ass? I'm not exactly sure when I gave you that impression. I mean what I said. You aren't the first new relucent student who's hidden away here, and you won't be the last. But it's an overreaction, even if it's understandable. The worst of it for you, especially considering what your powers are, is going to be the history and government classes. Gotta remember the nascent stuff and all this new stuff on top. But the rest of it? Cake. But I guess what I tell you doesn't matter much. Hearts aren't very good at listening to logic, much less when it comes from someone else. The look on your face tells me your heart isn't hearing shit I'm saying. Wish that surprised me. You, come across anyone running off at the mouth about you being here? No, there isn't a lot of stigma around being relucent. Not intentionally, anyway. And people are usually pretty damn decent and receptive here, which I truly love. It's the way things should be. But every now and again you can get someone who decides they're a big shot. My mom told me something once. She said, everyone you meet's got a reason for acting like they do. That doesn't always make it hurt less or be less frustrating or feel any differently. But sometimes it helps to make it make sense. And I don't mean some juvenile bullshit about the bullies are only that way because they were bullied, or whatever nonsense they spout about that anymore. That's horseshit people tell kids so they don't have to explain the truth. Some people are just assholes. And regardless of whatever this community is or might become to you, it's still just that. A community. Made up of people. All types of them from all sorts of backgrounds. Try to give people grace where you can and hope they'll do the same for you. But whatever else happens today or tomorrow or the day after that or the year after that, don't let the assholes, and there will be some no matter how good your community. Anywhere there are people, there's a chance of at least one. Don't let them get to you. Don't give their bile room to live in your head or creep into your heart. Don't give them that power. They don't deserve it. Surround yourself with people who build you up and make your life better just by being in it. That'll make all the difference. Whoever those people are for you, whether they're already in your life or if you find them here, find them and hold them close. That little pep talk wasn't for me. I've already sat through it before. You aren't me. You're you, as stupid and obvious as that sounds. You know what you need. Or, on the off chance you don't, you need to take stock so you can figure it out. Putting your head down and running yourself out is only so good for so long. Did you get any sleep last night? That's something, I guess. Did you have to come far? I mean, I'm assuming you aren't living on campus. Well, there's that at least. Me? I live not far from campus. I had a shot at Healing Hallows, but decided to let it go. I didn't need for this school to become my whole life. I already work here and attend classes here. Making your entire existence about one thing can be a quick path to losing some part of yourself it's hard to get back. As much as I love this school and this life, I have zero intentions of losing myself to it. Why are we playing 20 questions about me all of a sudden? I only sat down because you chose the coffee over interrogating me. I guess that's fair. Fine. One personal question. Don't waste it. No, I don't know my father. My mother is nascent, so I'm not entirely unfamiliar with what you're going through right now. That's 2 questions. I agreed to 1. I'm here because I brought you coffee, which you decided you wanted and is still sitting there untouched. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even be here. You wouldn't know who you are, what you could do. You would still be going about your day-to-day none the wiser. letting you navigate this alone wouldn't be right. Not that you are alone. I know you get along with Monroe at the very least. You said you've run into a few other people. Anyone stand out? Huh. Don't think I know the water one, but Reese. Reese and I have crossed paths a couple of times. She's not bad people, but watch yourself with her. I mean exactly what I said. Reese... Reese means well, but... let's just say she and I see a lot of things very differently. It's easy as hell to get swept up and rushed along down whatever rabbit hole she's running through at the time. Knowing what's been going on around campus, I'm gonna guess you've gotten an earful about Professor Kimball. Figures. I didn't say that. You're gonna be fine, both with Reese and Kimball. Just don't be afraid to do your own research into things. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Any of them you can think of. That doesn't count. I mean about magic, about this world. You want to ask me anything your heart desires about that? I'll give you an answer so thorough you'll be capable of teaching a class yourself. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot to tell you. You've had a schedule change. It isn't anything that massive. The school wouldn't let that happen. You're just gonna have a different professor for magical theory. I'll still be your TA. You're still in the same class. It was just a case of the professor's requested vacation time hitting the system after you were assigned. It honestly isn't a big deal. You should have an email about it. Oh, don't tell me they didn't. Good Lord, I love this school, but some days it feels like if admin's brains were leather, they wouldn't have enough to saddle a June bug. Hand me your phone. I'm gonna fix half of this problem, unless you'd rather try to muddle through on your own. Thank you. There. You now have a handful of apps that'll make your life a hell of a lot more convenient. I can't believe they let you leave the admin building without making sure you knew any of this. How many school employees have you been in contact with since you enrolled? How many of them knew you were relucent? And no one thought to check. You know what? Never mind. I have to go down to the admin building later anyway. This is fine. Or it will be, at any rate. I just intend to remind them of responsibilities they have to our student body, that's all. It's stuff I shouldn't have to tell them. People make mistakes, you're right. Things fall through the cracks sometimes. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't all try to be better. You can't fix a mistake and hopefully prevent it from recurring if you don't realize you made it in the first place. I'm frustrated because they can do better and you deserve better. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna go raise the admin building or anything. You do realize that, right? I'm not sure how to take that. I only expect out of people what I believe they're capable of. However that comes across, that's all it is. And speaking of expectations, I have to go get set up for my first class. You should think about heading toward yours soon, too. You're gonna be fine. It won't always be easy, especially as you're learning the ropes. But you'll get there. I know it.